everything and extreme coupon or packs in her backpack going to the Disney parks. So literally, if you want to save money when you go into the Disney parks, the best thing, the biggest advice that I have for anyone is to prepare. Like, in the famous words of Scar, be prepared. Like, seriously, you need to have as many things in your backpack that's not going to bog you down, but it's going to prevent you from spending in the park unnecessary money. I'm going to walk you through my backpack, everything that I bring, because an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of gain, and the pound of gain is in your wallet. So when I'm packing my backpack to go to Disney, I like to kind of freshen things up each time I do it. So I'm just going to kind of pull the things out that I have. I added a few things in and just kind of tell you why I bring it, why it saves me money, and why I think it's an absolute necessity in your backpack when you pack. Okay, so let's just start with like the outside of my backpack. I have a Stony Clover. This is a Christmas gift. My husband got it for me. I had another one that I'd used for like 3 or 4 years and it got super beat up, but I absolutely love this backpack, and this is the reason why. The material is like super wipeable, and it's like a little bit water resistant. And if you've ever been to Disney World or Disneyland, you know that there's rain, there's water rides, you spill stuff like that. So having something that's a little bit more water resistant is a big plus for me. I also really love that the straps are padded. I don't like having a water bottle pocket on the outside of my backpack. That's just like a personal thing. I much prefer to keep the water bottle in my backpack. So again, this doesn't have pockets on the outside, but it does have pockets on the inside where I can like put the water bottle in, and then it sits upright. I also like that it has a little like zipper pouch on the front. I do like this because it keeps kind of like the more important things separated from the things that I'm only going to be using occasionally. So like I usually put things in here that like if my kid needs to grab like Band-Aids, or if we're going to get an autograph really quick, like the Sharpies go in here. So I kind of like having a small pouch in the front so I can be like, here really quick, and then bend over and have my kid grabbing stuff for the backpack. Another thing that I have on the outside of my backpack that I think is like a must have for anybody that's like a parent, or if you really like popcorn, this might not, just trust me. If you really like popcorn or you're gonna go to the parks, this is something that I would highly recommend. When you go to Disney, you can get a popcorn bucket that looks something like this. Now it's usually gonna cost about 12 or 13 bucks for the initial bucket, but every time you refill it, $2.50, $2.75, something like that, to refill it every time. So what we do on our trip is we grab one of these the first day that we're there, and then every time we want popcorn, we just take this up and ask for a refill, and it's so stinking cheap. It's like the cheapest snack you can get in the entire park. Why this is important though is because you don't want to have to stick this inside your backpack. Oh my gosh, it takes up so much room, and it is such a pain in the butt to put in there. And then sometimes it spills, the lid falls off, stuff like that. So what we do is we actually just take this and we attach our popcorn bucket to it, and we walk around like this. And it is 10 out of 10, the best way to walk around with your popcorn bucket. When we didn't know about this trick, we used to like tie it onto the ends of our backpacks. We would just take these and tie it around because it was, again, super cumbersome to put inside the backpack. But this is just a great little hack, and this bucket saves us so much freaking money. I think we got this, it ended up being like, I think you can get a 6-pack on Amazon for like $7 or $8. Correct me if I'm wrong, they're really, really stinking inexpensive. And I got it in orange. Orange is my favorite color, and so it matches my backpack, and it just blends in and is super stinking cute. So that's what this is for. Absolutely love it. So let's get into the inside stuff, the stuff that's in my backpack that you 100% need to bring. There are a couple of things that are just like suggestions, but most of these things, if you want to save money and you want to do Disney right, not only is this going to save your sanity, but your wallet, you need everything in this backpack. So we're going to start with the front pouch just because that's the easiest part. So in the front pouch of my Disney bag, there's a bunch of, oh, let me see, you can't even see that. There's a bunch of stuff in here. It's not anything super crazy. I do add different things, like if my kids have like pins that they want to trade or whatever, we'll stick those in a little Ziploc baggie and put it in here. But this is kind of everything that I've got in there right now. So number one is like hand lotion. I got this from Miniso in the mall. It's like a cute little Winnie the Pooh hand lotion. But you hand sanitize your hands a lot, and my hands get super cracked. So this is just great to have. I also have a little sunscreen. It's not in here. I think I actually put it in my purse, but a little sunscreen would also be another good thing. You don't need a big one depending upon the time of year that you go. If you're going in summer, you need a big thing of sunscreen. But if you're just going in like the spring or the winter, a little thing of sunscreen, just because sometimes you'll need it for like your shoulders or whatever. But lotion, sunscreen, definitely a necessity. They are stinking expensive in the park, like ridiculously expensive. So you definitely want to bring that with you before you go. Another thing that I have in here is just a little thing of like their Tums, antacids, stuff like that. If you've never been a 30-year-old at Disney walking around eating a bunch of foods that you don't normally eat all day, let me put you onto this. If you go and buy it at the parks, they only sell it occasionally at some hotels. And then they might sell it at the baby center. I don't know for sure, but it's like a little thing of Tums, and it's $5. It's dumb. So I got this. It's one of the like yummy tasting ones. I think I couponed this for like $2, but you could also bring a little thing of Tums. I actually just take and refill this because it's just so easy and compact to take with me. But yeah, you need this. Trust me, it will save you. Just have it just in case. Okay, other thing that I bring, hand sanitizer. So I'll bring this. My kids have the little pocket back ones from Bath and Body Works, but you don't want to get sick at Disney. I can't tell you. My kids got sick at Disney once, and it was so miserable for them. I felt so bad. It was towards the tail end of our trip. Hand sanitize, wash your hands, spray things down. I also bring like Lysol wipes with me, and so I'll wipe down the tables before we sit. It's just totally worth it to make sure that your hands are clean and you're not getting sick while you're there. They do a great job of keeping the park clean. Do not get me wrong, but there's people, they're touching stuff. You got germs everywhere. Hand sanitizer. All right, I think the last thing that's in this front pouch right here are just a bunch of pens, and I will kind of set these off to the side and explain why later, but I have like regular pens, but I also have Sharpies in here, and Sharpies are super important for getting autographs and signatures from the cast members. I prefer to have like clicky Sharpies. I think ours are all like dried up, so I'll have to get new ones. But just Sharpies are great for getting cast members. They're a lot bigger, and especially cast members that have like animal hands. They're a lot hard. It's a lot harder to like grip a smaller pen, but a Sharpie is a little bit thicker, and so they have an easier time writing with them. So pens for autographs. All right, moving on to the big pouch. We'll go through and see what we got going on in here. Okay, so right off the bat, ponchos. So these are ponchos. We actually get new ones probably every, I would say once every 2 or 3 trips we get new ponchos, just because sometimes they'll like rip. But these are ponchos that we got from Amazon. I think this is a 6-pack. Yeah, so this is a 6-pack. It came with 3 adult ponchos and 3 kids ponchos, and it was a total of $10 for all of these. If you were to go and buy a poncho in the park, it is $12 for one. And they don't even make kid sizes. So they're like these huge ponchos, and then they're really bulky. Yes, are they thick and good quality? Absolutely, but they're really bulky. They don't fold up really well. These are absolutely fantastic because you're gonna put them on, you're gonna roll them back up, and then you're gonna put them on again, you're rolling back up. That other thing is just way too bulky and way too expensive. If you've never been to Disney World and you think you don't need these, please reconsider. You definitely need these. I'm gonna insert some pictures right here of us going to Disney World for the first time and not thinking that we needed ponchos. This was us getting completely drenched before we went on Splash Mountain. So it was completely raining. We got completely downpoured on. This would have been a complete game changer. So ponchos are a complete, you can get them at the dollar store if you want to. I get these on Amazon just because they're a little bit thicker than the dollar store ones and they last a bit longer. But you can get them at the dollar store. You can get them at Five Below. I mean, if you want, you can get them at Target and Walmart, but Amazon's the cheapest outside of the dollar store. All right, the next thing is a water bottle. Now, this is my daughter's water bottle. This isn't the one that I bring, but you need a water bottle, and let me tell you why. So in the parks, the only water that they sell is the Dasani water bottles. Now, if you don't like the taste of Dasani, that's just in and of itself a reason to bring a water bottle with you, but they're also like $4 or $5 for one water bottle, which is absolutely ridiculous. There's no way I am ever paying that much for a thing of water. So bring a water bottle. You can actually get these filled up. So they have drinking fountains and stuff if you're in a pinch, but you can actually go to any quick service dining restaurant, whatever, around any park at Disney and just say, hey, can I get a cup of water? For 100% free, they will give you a cup of water with ice to put in here. Now they also have like really nice water fill up stations in some areas where it's like really ice cold water and they've got ice in it and you just kind of like refill it. Disneyland has one. Disney World has quite a few of them. I'll put like some pictures of them over here so you can kind of see what they look like, but there's zero reason to have to buy water bottles in the park unless you forget this. So do not forget this. Pack a water bottle, one for every member of your family. Fill it up every time you go past a quick service restaurant. If you see a water fill up station, there's one like when you get out of like Rise of the Resistance and riding the Millennium Falcon, like there's lots of spots throughout the park to fill up your water. Do not buy for these in the park. Just don't do it. All right. What's the next thing? It's like Mary Poppins bag. I don't know what to pull out next. So let me go ahead and do this one. I think because we're talking a lot about Disney World and that's the place that we're going to, this is the next thing I want to talk about, and that's going to be the personal fans. So there's quite a few options when it comes to the personal fan. I was the person that I was like, oh, I don't need one of those. And then I was waiting in line with sweat literally dripping down my back and me just being glad that there was some kind of shade and my husband blowing on my face and going, ah, that feels good. So you do. You 100% need a personal fan. So there's a couple options. This is the one that I use. It's actually a fan. Oh, my nails aren't gonna be able to open this. This is gonna be painful. I got it off of Amazon. It's a fan. It's also a phone charger down here, but it just like folds up really nice, and then you can charge your phone, and it's really great and portable. I absolutely love this. I think this ended up being like 12 bucks on Amazon, but I use it every single time I go. It just recharges, and then I can use it as a charger for my phone if I want, which is a really big perk. I picked these up for our kids because they said that they wanted fans. We got these from Target. They're like 5 bucks at Target. And they're like super cute. They're battery operated, so you just put new batteries in them. So they don't recharge, which is kind of a bummer. But again, they're super cute. The kids love using them, and they do get really hot. So giving them something cutesy like this that they can use is really, really cute for them. The last thing. Now this is the big mama. This be the big mama of fans. I got this on TikTok Shop. And I'm not going to turn it on because it is like an air conditioner. It's a portable air conditioner. But we use these actually when my best friend and I went to Oogie Boogie Bash and we were Vanessa and Ariel. We had these big dresses on with long sleeves, and it was like October in California, and we were sweating. So we actually put these in our belt, like loops on our pants, and it blew air up all night. These are amazing. They absolutely do cool you down. We just stick them on our pants, and you can use them portable, but you can stick them on your pants and it'll give you air conditioning. You can stick it in a stroller, and it'll be great if you have like a kid who gets really, really hot and you want it to be cool if they're taking a nap. I think this was like $18 on TikTok Shop, but it is worth its weight in gold. It is an amazing air conditioning product if you get really hot. This totally works and is way more portable and practical, but if you're going to Disney World in the middle of July, this right here. Buy this and thank me later. Okay, next thing. We'll just keep going on the topic of heat. So because it gets really hot in Disney World, one of the things that I like to put in my bag are claw clips. So just being able to like take my hair, throw it back and put it up, because sometimes just the hair on the back of your neck creating sweat beads is enough to ruin your vacation. So claw clips are amazing. I have this one that's got like the inside out emotions on it. I got this one that's from Mulan. I also bring just a little hair tie just in case. They're just great to have if you want to throw your hair up and it's way too hot. If you get rained on and your hair is just completely stuck to your face, being able to throw it up while it dries is another big perk. These are just small things that you don't think about, and then you're gonna have to go and like try to buy a hair tie or a claw clip or something like that in the parks where they're just way more expensive and it takes up such a small amount of space in your bag. Just throw one in there and then you don't have to think about it. Okay, this is another thing that I want to talk about. So we don't buy autograph books in the park. Now, I know that this is kind of a controversial take. Are they super expensive? No, I think they're like $12 to $25 for an autograph book in the park. So it's not like outrageous, but it is a pretty penny for a glorified notebook. In my opinion. So we actually just bring like dollar store notebooks. We get notebooks from Target or Walmart or whatever that have Disney characters on them. I'll get stickers and my kids can decorate them, and then that's what they bring for their autograph book. Now that they're a little bit older though, what we've been doing is actually bringing our Disney Lorcana cards and just taking those over and having the cast members sign these. And it's been a really great fun experience. So like we have like Mickey Mouse signing that one. And it's been great because then my kid can play with them when we go to League, and we have our like little Lorcana decks built. But it's been really fun. They've had a really good time with it. The characters really like it, and it's also really cool for them to interact because they'll see themselves. The characters will see themselves on the card, and it'll be just a little bit more fun. So we've loved doing this. We got this little card guard thing from Target. It was like $3 or $4, and then we just used our extra Lorcana cards that we have. So that's why we have a lot of these pens in different colors, depending upon if we get like a face character or not. We have like the Sharpies or we have the regular pens, but we are always looking for things that are going to be dark enough to kind of show up on the paper. So just keep that in mind too. If you're using like Lorcana cards, you probably want to use a Sharpie. If you're using regular paper, a pen's probably fine. Moving on. Okay, so we'll talk about this one. I think we have 2 more things in here. It's not super extensive, but it's enough to save you some decent amount of money. So what we have in here are sanity savers, and they are also money savers, but sanity savers. So my kids will be waiting in line. Sometimes we will buy Lightning Lane, sometimes we won't, just depending upon the park. And when we have to wait in a decently long line, we are constantly looking for ways to entertain the kids, because who wants to be waiting in a line at Disney? I'm 33 years old and I don't want to be waiting in a line at Disney. So finding different ways for them to kind of like be entertained is definitely something that you want to consider before you go. So we got this at Five Below. It's a little magnetic chess game. So it comes with, oh, things fell out. That's sad. But it's a magnetic chess game. where you have all of these magnetic pieces, and you can just kind of set it up and then they can be standing in line. My husband and my son are big into chess, so this is great for them. I also have one for tic-tac-toe for my daughter. She loves playing that, so we'll play that together. There was also one for checkers that you could get at Five Below too, but they make these for a lot of different games that you can just portably put in one of these, and it takes up like no room. And then they can do that while they're waiting in line, and they're super entertained. Couple other things that I don't have these in my bag because I'm not bringing them this time, but are just good options are like the mess-free ink pens, where you can kind of just have your kids coloring with the mess-free marker in line and doing a bunch of doodles. There's also tic-tac-toe and word searches and crosswords and stuff like that in here so that they can do with this mess-free marker. So you're not worried about them using the marker on anything or getting marker on their clothes or their face or whatever, but they're still entertained. Hand it to them and you don't have to think about it for a little bit. The other thing that my kids love playing are these Disney Spot It games. Now, this one I think ended up being a limited edition one. I mean, you can see just how freaking well loved this game is. My kids love playing it. But it's really great because what they do is they sit there in line and you have to have 2 stacks, right? So each of them will hold a stack and then they'll just flip up their card. And the name of the game is to look on the card and try to see which character is on both cards. And so they'll go through and they'll flip it over and then they'll look and then they'll guess and then they'll move on. We've also had a couple times where there have been other kids waiting in line with us and we've had a bunch of kids all playing this all at once and it's been really fun and entertaining. And it's, again, something super portable. We could, if you didn't want to take the whole box, you could just take like a rubber band and rubber band it around and then throw it in your bag. They also make mini Spot-Its. I think we have like a Marvel one and a Star Wars one where they're like a little bit smaller so the circle isn't quite as big. But again, huge hit. The kids love it. They actually look forward to waiting in line because they want to play this. And then sometimes we make it more fun where it's like the winner, if you get the most by the time we get to the end of the line, gets a Dole Whip or an ice, whatever you want to make it fun for your family. But it's just entertaining if you're looking for a way to not have to buy the lightning lane and maybe like save some money by making the lines more entertaining. Try this. It's really, really fun. Okay, I think this is the last thing in my bag. Thankfully, this has been quite the extensive tour of my backpack. So we have the fuel rods. Now you can bring any kind of like phone chargers like this. This is also another thing that you can bring. The reason I am recommending fuel rods specifically is because throughout Disneyland and Disney World, they have fuel rod exchange stations. So you can take this fuel rod once it's completely used at the park. Like let's say your phone completely didn't charge overnight. So you stick a fuel rod on it while you're walking into the park, you're using it, then the fuel rod's completely drained. And you're like, dang it, I only got 20% battery left or whatever, and I need to get a new fuel rod, otherwise my phone's not gonna live anymore. You can take this fuel rod and stick it in an exchange station throughout the parks, and you'll get a brand new fuel rod free of charge. It is a great hack to save money and to also save your phone. Unfortunately, now that Disney has switched off of like the paper fast passes, you have to be on your phone a lot, whether it's creating a new order for like a dining plan. You're going to get something online or a mobile order, or you're going to go ahead and create a lightning lane and you want to book a line, or you want to look at the park wait times and you want to see, what Big Thunder Mountain's wait time is or whatever. You are on your phone a lot. So you need to have a source of being able to charge it. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to have as good of a time in the park. And buying one of these straight up at Disney is like $30 a pop. And they're like 2 of these for $30 on Amazon. So buy them beforehand, exchange them for free at the park. You'll thank me later. So it is empty. I think that's all she wrote. I'm sure there's other things that I missed, but that's kind of just the baseline if you're looking to pack your bag and your goal is to save as much money as possible in the park. This is a great place to start. I think if I had to name my top 5, let's just go through the top 5. If you need 5 of these items, what would my top 5 be? Number 1 on there would be the fuel rods. The fuel rods are going to save your hiney all the time. I can't tell you how many times my phone has gone from 100% down to 20% before the day is halfway over. Having these and being able to charge them or charge my phone and then exchange them throughout the park is just an amazing perk and feature. You definitely need these. Number 1. Number 2 is going to be the little like carabiner thing for on your backpack, just because this is probably my number 1 money saving tip when you go to Disney. Getting the popcorn bucket, getting the $2.50, I think $2.75 refills. It's a huge money saving hack. So having this and being able to carry this around effectively so you don't forget it in the hotel, do it. Number 3 is by far going to be the ponchos. This is definitely more of a Disney World hack. I have not really taken these to Disneyland as much, but if you're going during rainy season, California does rain a lot. The rain comes out of nowhere at Disney World, and you will be stuck waiting on an overhang for 2 hours, and your park day will be shortened. Get a poncho. They're like a couple bucks on Amazon. They're $1.25 at the dollar store. These are a must-have in your backpack. My number 4 hack is by far this instead of an autograph book. My kids have so much more fun when they're getting like their Lorcana cards out or they're designing their own notebooks to bring to the park, and then it's kind of like a fun personalized touch. I don't want to buy a $12 to $25 autograph book in the park. I just don't. I think this is a huge hack and a huge way to save money, and your kids still have a bunch of fun getting this signed by cast members and characters. And number 5 is it's gonna be the water bottle. Do not buy these in the park. It hurts my soul every time I see someone buying a $4 or $5 water bottle. I know it's because they're thirsty. I know it's because it's hot. I know it's because they forgot one of these at home. Just bring one of these. It'll save you a bunch of money. I think we refill these probably 15 times a day. And if you think about the fact that if we refilled these 15 times, that probably equates to about 15 water bottles or more, depending upon the size of your water bottle. And that's just outrageous amounts of money just to be spending on water. So get them at the quick service stations, go refill them at water fill-up stations. This is a must-have in your backpack. I think that's it for now. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm gonna be doing lots more Disney on a dime, Disney saving tips, Disney budget tips. We're actually taking our kids to Disney in 2 weeks. So this will be a great time for us to kind of go over all of my hacks, all the things that I do as an extreme couponer to keep our Disney trips significantly cheaper and make them attainable for the average consumer, because I think there's this misconception out there that Disney is just completely out of the budget. And if you plan and you know the hacks and you do things in the right order, Disney is completely affordable, and I'm going to show you how.